Well, hello, you guys, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Sex Talk with T. Gray. I have with me, you guys, one of my favorite females out of New York. We're going to have a good time tonight. Miss Onika Mclean, come on in here.
Hey, darling, what's up?
Hey, girl. Hey, look, the original Onika. People thought Nicki Minaj was the only one. You're the originator.
I'm the originator.
How are you?
I'm wonderful running around these comedy streets.
And you're doing the damn thing, I must say. So, you guys, if you have never seen, have never checked out my guest, and you are certainly missing a treat. She has been blazing these stages all over the country and just kicking down these comedy doors and making it look real good for Black girls in comedy.
As black women, what we talking about?
So tonight, you guys, I wanted to tap into a whole lot of different things, and I don't know if this might be too much for Onika. We're gonna find out. But I wanted to jump into something that really I was just having this conversation with some friends of mine, and I kind of wanted to explore it a little bit. Anal play with the hetero man and what that really connotates and what that stigma is behind that. Um, is this something, Onika, that you've ever engaged in or would engage in?
What, like pegging a heterosexual man?
Any type of anal play with a hetero dude.
So, what kind of anal play? Like me touching their butt or
It
them?
look, it
Whose
could
butt?
be something as simple.
Whose butt's getting penetrated?
Look, not yours in this
So,
scenario.
whose is it? I mean, I want to know whose is it. Is
So
it mine or is it his? Because if it's his, no, sir. I'm
no,
sorry. You got to get your ass out of here. But if if it's mine, I mean, is we getting married? Because this the other part, right? I'm just not gonna give all my. I'm come from the old school. Like I'm still trying to sell my stuff from the same price from 1988. So I'm just not gonna be giving up stuff. Like I'm save some of my stuff for Jesus. And
I know that's right. I know that's right. Well, so I'm bringing this up because I was recently having this conversation with a guy who said that he's always dealt with such a negative stigma behind the type of enjoyment that he likes to have in the bedroom. So, although he might not like to get pegged, he might want to have his ass ate, or he may want the woman to put her finger there. He said, but when he is introducing this aspect to women and really sharing this about himself, a lot of feedback he gets is, "Oh, you're gay." He was like, "I'm not gay. I don't want a man to do it. I want a woman to do it." But he's like, he's tired of going through that. So, do you think that that stigma is legitimate that we may give? That
no, well, actually, what they say is the biggest G spot is inside the anus,
it
right?
is, yeah,
So if that's and you know how men are with pleasure, so somebody, yeah, I get it, but I feel like as a black woman of a certain age, we have been conditioned that certain things are gay. And just because of that whole down low movement where you don't know what you were dealing with for so long, and so many women got HIV and all that stuff from dealing with down low men
mhm,
in the 90s or whatever, just as a black woman, I would be very cautious because I know what happened to so many people
mhm,
that not just dealing with that kind of pleasure, but what was happening is actually they were gay men and they were just using women as beards. So, and it's so messed up that that happened so long ago, but it's still, you know, circulates in my mind when you even say that to me.
right. But so no, that's very real because even in 2021, there are still a lot of men who are super closeted. There's
Yeah.
still a lot of men, um, and the women that are with them, I feel as if they're enablers. Because I think that as a woman, even though you don't want to admit it to yourself, I think we kind of know. I think that closeted men do present signs as much as they try not to, even if they have wife, kids, whatever. I think that they present signs. I think that they're definitely signs sexually.
And
Um,
they jealous of you. Most times they be jealous of your vagina. You be like, first of
mhm.
all, them are my panties, nigga. If you don't get the hell, they no, it's true. They look like if when you're not ladies, when your man is a little mean for no real reason and he acting like a jealous girlfriend, he just might want to be.
Mm, then there's that. Then there's that, you guys. So trying to withhold who you truly are sexually, you guys, it does not work to your benefit. One, I believe that if you can't be yourself sexually, you're the person who is laying on their deathbed thinking about all the fucking they could have been doing. That's
Yeah, it's
that's my
true.
personal opinion.
I
You
wish I could have been a hoe back in the day, but I was just trying to be somebody's wife. Now I'm sleepy. I ain't got no time to be no hoe. Like it's like you get so tired, you be like, I can't.
dang,
I gotta
you done
sleep.
blew
I
through
got no
your
time.
whole phase.
I didn't have a whole phase because what happened is I was married really, really young, and
Hmm.
I left my mother's house at 18. So
Hmm.
I like went with my ex husband so young. So I did not have a whole phase. Maybe I had 2 whole days, but I never had a phase. And then I was somebody's mother, and you can't really have a whole phase when you raising little kids because they
Right,
be like, "Who are you? Why are you here? Who,
right,
ma?" You know. So
right.
you was I'm
So
sorry, I'm being a comedian. Go
no,
ahead.
no, do your thing. It's fine. But you're not wrong though. And to be honest with you, I feel as if a whole phase is needed in everybody's life.
I think so.
I think that that's
I
definitely
think
something
so
we should
too.
stroll through before we get married. And even though you got married young, like I got married and I was 31, I think, 30, 31, 32, somewhere in there. And there's a lot of things that I wish I had done prior to. There's a lot of fucking I wish I had done before then too, when my knees were just a little bit better than what they are now.
You need a
Because let me
collagen
tell you
shot, sis.
something.
You need
That
a
that
collagen
that,
shot.
that post marriage sex when you've been fucking the same kind of fucking for the past 10, 15 years, and then now you want some new sex with these same old ass knees. It's a problem. It's a
And you
problem.
know what else? I feel like as black women,
Hmm.
um, religion plays a big part in sexual experiences. Like
Yeah.
I know for me, I had gotten like really religious during my marriage or whatever, because most times when you hate the nigga, you know, you be looking for Jesus to kill him. Jesus, I'ma just keep
Yeah.
on, right. So I
Yes.
got really religious, and once I got divorced, then sex became like fornication. It wasn't
Mhm.
sex. So it was a whole other thing. So the things that I would do inside my marriage, I didn't want to have sex because anytime I would engage in it, I would feel like condemned, like, oh, now I gotta
Mm.
go to hell. And that happens so often. I guess women in general, I'm not sure, but I know specifically black women in the black church.
Mhm.
It's like we're conditioned to, you know, put our sexuality, push it under the rug, and act like
Mhm.
it's not existing until you kind of like forget about it.
So you said two interesting things. I definitely want to touch on the religion and the sex, but it also sounded as if you felt condemned, yet you kept getting back up on the dick. So first, just congratulations for keeping it going. And keep trying, because
I
you want
didn't keep trying though.
you
It
want
was
to
so
do
few
that.
and far between. By the time I got some, it could be just mediocre. And I'm like, this is the best thing that I ever had in my whole life. Like, no,
Yeah.
no, I did not try because I'm telling you, I kept feeling like just recently I started like thinking God don't care if I come. Like He don't care. He does
Right.
not care.
So
But
recently, I had Jen Thomas on, and a lot of people might not know this, but she shared it during the show. Jen Thomas grew up as a Seventh Day Adventist, and so her perspective on sex and how it operates and what she can and can't not do with her body as something that has stayed with her whole life. And so recently, just even during the pandemic, she had just got to the point of being able to masturbate, which was 100% connected to what she thought of herself because of what the religion had taught her about that act. Um, I think it's very interesting the role that religion plays in sex and how we view it, how we choose to not necessarily ignore what we're taught, but how we choose to work around it. And then when we start to open ourselves up, when we start to have an open mind and realize that, hey, it's a little bit bigger than what I was taught, there's more to it than what I was shown. And no, I'm not going to hell. You know what I mean? If I do this, I think then your sexual world changes. But even in that phase, you still take baby steps. You still
Yeah,
take
and you
baby
keep going
steps. You're
back and
trying to
forth.
be doing things right. You're still unsure. You still question yourself. No matter how much you realize, okay, this is not going to condemn me, but I'm still going to tread lightly.
Because you know what it feels like? It feels like I always cite reference old things, but it feels like Miss Sealy and Suge. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes,
When she's like, "Well, you still a virgin," like that, and it's because like so many other races, ethnicities of women get to explore their sexuality. In particular, white women, Jewish in particular, like get to explore their sexuality where even when they're not having vaginal intercourse, they're having all the other intercourse around the vagina. And so with black women, oftentimes we ain't doing none of that stuff because of what's been put on us. You fast. You can't be fat. You can't just be a whore. Like if you think about black women, oftentimes I'm not talking about the new whores. But before, like you had four boyfriends, right? You had the
right.
first one, the second one, probably the one you married, and the one that got away. It's never like other races.
So hold that thought because I brought a mutual friend in the scene to kick it with us tonight as we
Please,
get
nobody I
started.
screwed. Nobody I screwed before. Please, Lord.
I don't know what happens in closed doors. I don't know. I don't know. Although I can tell you this is one of my most favorite people. Love this man to death. You've worked with him. He's phenomenal. Everybody in town, we love him. We can't get enough of him.
It
Come
must be
on
Uncle Rodney.
in,
It must be Uncle Rodney.
Rodney. He said it gotta be. Hey.
Oh, that
What's up, ladies?
What's going on?
Onika tickles me to no end.
Yes.
This lady makes me laugh. Do you got a ring light in your car?
First off, Rodney, she had the whole laptop in the car. Okay, she don't play around.
I love it, man. I think I might be calling some feedback or something. I don't know.
It's okay. We look we gonna work with it. So first, everybody, I want to welcome Rodney Perry back to the show. You guys already know he's one of my faves. Always comes through with a word. Rodney, I have to tell you, we started this show off talking about anal play with the hetero man. That's where we
I
began.
don't like nobody to mess with my booty. I don't like. To me, it's always a test. Like women see what type of dude you are by motherfucking, giving a little digital to your asshole. But I be like, no, I'm good. But I got a friend that's a sexpert, and she's like, your G spot, Rodney, is in your butt,
Mhm.
and I'm like, well, I'm never gonna find that motherfucker. Then I'm sorry. I mean,
You'll never know. So, what do you think about the stigma that comes along with that? So, a lot of men who are hetero don't want to be looked at as if they may be possibly gay and or bi because they like a little anal play. Do you think that that stigma is legitimate?
it's absolutely legitimate. I mean, but I'm old school too. But I mean, I do what I need to do to satisfy my partner. If my partner needs something done that way, I'm definitely willing to be that guy. But stay away from my booty, though. Please leave my booty alone.
They say do not enter.
Leave my booty alone.
Do not enter. So, me and Onika have we've jumped into so many different things just in a matter of minutes. Having way too much fun in here, but very, very interesting conversation. We've tackled that. We've tackled a little bit on religion. Um, has your religious views ever kept you from having the kind of sex that you really want, or have you always been able to be open in that way?
I think I've been open for the most part. I mean, I'm a Virgo, so I like to describe myself as conservatively nasty. you know,
Yes.
so I'm like, I'll try most things, but I'm really like I'm really about the person that I'm with. Like it's got to be some sort of connection for me. And I know you rarely hear guys say that, but it just needs to be that. And for me personally, and I don't know if that's not necessarily religion. You know, I mean, 'cause, like my mom passed away, and I'd be like, you in your mind, she's like always there, but I hope she ain't there when I be jacking off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a private moment, bro. That's private.
I be like, Mom, you gotta get out of here. I'm about to do something.
So we had touched on that too. We had touched on masturbation a little bit and how religion plays into that. So Onika, since you have said that your religion played into how you viewed sex and then how you operated during your marriage and post your marriage, did it ever affect the way that you masturbate?
Oh yeah, it did. I didn't masturbate. So I was at church one day, and the pastor said, this is what the pastor said. The pastor was like, you don't toys have spirits attached to them. So you put the spirit up inside of you. And I went home and threw away all my toys. Let me tell you something about the black church. They hate us. They gonna hate us. Like,
All
yeah,
the
if I'm
time.
not gonna be a whore, yeah, I can't even please myself. Just me and Jesus sitting up there praying. I threw away all this stuff. And do you know when I found out God didn't care about that? You know how much sex toys cost? I had to
It's
buy
very
that shit
expensive.
back again.
So listen, since the Lord don't care about how you come, and I'm asking every woman I know lately, have you bought the rose yet?
My homegirl called hers Roosevelt.
I got like a Brickstone back massager, and I just use it for my back. If it slipped down, then I use that.
Now, can I ask y'all a question? Are you ever concerned that you're gonna hurt yourself, like or damage your sensitivity to your clitoris or whatever you put it on?
No, it's like Teflon. And what's the big deal? If it blow up, who gives a damn? You know what I'm saying? Come on.
I don't think I ever want to
If I
put
blew
the
it up,
word
goddamn
Teflon in the face sentence with my clit.
to blow up, Rodney. If I blow it up, if it's gone, goddamn it, I shot it up. I shot the shell. Sorry.
So I have never worried about desensitizing myself, but I know other women that have in such a way that they can't come unless they have a mechanism.
Oh
Like
wow!
masturbated so much and for so long, and they're so tuned into it that if they have sex with the actual person, they never orgasm or they don't,
Get out of here!
and then they have to have the mechanism. So I don't I
No,
don't think that that works the same for men and women. I think that men get desensitized. I don't know if that works the same for women, but I've never been fearful of it, and I'll be putting something right there on the tip, trying to drive myself crazy.
I
But I
feel
don't
like
do it every day,
a man,
so I don't know.
I feel like sex with a man, they have arms and legs and they smell a certain way and you can caress them. It's a whole amazing experience. I feel like masturbation is more utility. So
Mm.
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the truth. When I masturbate, now there's two different types for me. Okay, I do masturbate sometimes just because I need to. I want to have a good attitude that day. I came off the bed the wrong side of the bed. I need to just get my shit together. Those are those quick ones. But when I'm in a moment and I really want to feel me
You make love to yourself.
right, my masturbation is not just vaginal. Like I'm all over my breasts and I'm all over my thighs and this smells good in here, and then, she
Do you work?
poured
Do you
up.
work somewhere? You got a
I do.
job?
I
You
do
need
have
a
a
job.
job.
Girl, you need a job.
I mean, sometimes you need to bust one before you go to work.
I think I'm about to go.
You don't have a sex party with yourself. What the hell is wrong?
But I mean, I think that some people who are deprived of that, or some people who don't come regularly, they do have an attitude. I believe that sex is definitely an attitude adjustment for most. And when you
So
get,
so if you're at work and you see a chick or a dude that's like got a bad attitude, you be like, you know what?
you need to
I
bust
know
one.
what you need.
You need to bust one. I've told somebody that before. And my coworker, she had to break down in that minute because she was so evil. She was evil just all the time. And it was one of those days where I was just like, I was tired of it. And so she was on her regular evil rant. I'm like, bitch, what's wrong with you? Do you need to bust a nut? Like, can you just get some before you get to work? And she was like, well, it's been a long time. Well, the fuck, who problem is that? Masturbate. You go in this bathroom right now, watch you a video, get two fingers in something if it's going to help you to get through this day better, because her attitude was stank. Everything about her, how she acted, how she operated, how she treated her
Okay,
coworkers.
I got a question before I go.
Come on with it.
Because you said something I thought interesting. Because I always picture women masturbating and it's just beautiful, and y'all don't have to pull up no porn. So what do you watch?
Ooh, my go-tos. So my go-tos are a little mine's are mild. I got a couple. I do watch ebony lesbian joints. Those will get me there, especially if they African, because African women be into that shit. I like Asian POV. I definitely like massage porn. Like if I'm in a mode, massage porn is it. But if I'm just on some let me hurry up and get it, gotta be ebony lesbian. Like I really don't need to watch a dude to bust
I
a nut.
never heard of massage porn ever.
Oh, that's my shit.
It's
Massage
it's
porn.
usually it's usually some oil involved. Yeah.
I
My,
mean,
my, my stuff, I only go to one. If I do watch porn, I only go to one thing, and it's called Pure Mature, like Pure,
uh-huh.
and Pure Mature, and there's a bunch of white ladies having sex with some white dudes because I feel like black porn is too aggressive, and I don't want to see nobody having sex with no doggone socks on and Timberlands. And I can't have nobody nails broken. Like I look too much in the details because I got ADD. So I'm gonna be like, wash her nails. She got stretch marks on the left side. Like it needs to look like cinema, and it gotta be white people because I don't want to think that I know you from the supermarket. It gotta be some shit that's so far removed from me.
I'm leaving.
No, brother. What's your porn? No,
Ebony midgets. Ebony midgets.
no, you tell us what's your go-to?
Ebony midgets.
Ebony midget. The bouncer, the bouncer.
I like a few things. I like ebony midgets. I like so it's this fake taxi
Oh yeah, fake
out of
taxi.
London. I like fake taxi. Even though every plot is the same, I love it. And
That's why you do Barry. That's why you do
No, because
Barry
that
all the
could
time.
happen in real
Taxi
life.
driver. Being a freak, Rodney.
that is a fact, Onika. And lastly, there's I like stepmoms.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay, those are usually white women though, for real, or
they
like
got it. They got some ebony stepmoms out there.
yeah. But no, that fake taxi joke, that don't do here like
That
I.
shit is so funny to me, but it be tickling me and tickling me.
Amen.
Okay, it's over. It's over. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Well, thank you for tapping in, you guys. That was Rodney Perry, friend of the show, friend of mine, friend of Onika. I was like, yo, come on and jump on in here. Might as well have some fun. Make it just, an event in here. Um, I'm super, super excited, you guys. We are here, Sex Talk with T. Graye on WEMS Radio. I have Onika Mclean, feisty, fine mama out of New York, doing amazing things in comedy. But we in here kicking and having a good time tonight. So let's get back into this. What is most important about sex to you?
The connection, like the connection, because you know what I noticed, and I know it's probably gonna be like, and I'm gonna say it because I feel like maybe people deal with it, and like it's my mission to speak for the black lady. Um, But I feel like sometimes in sex, I be having like mini panic attacks. Like I start
Mhm.
breathing fast. So it has to be a real connection where you see what's going on so that we're still kind of like emaciated into one. Because sometimes it just, I don't know. Sometimes I just start feeling anxious.
Mm. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Do you think that there is a person who is out here that you would not be anxious with? Like, do you feel like there's a hope for your perfect sexual match that anxiety would be gone?
Yeah, I just hope it's not somebody's husband because I don't want to go to hell.
I don't know. So
I hope it's my
do
own
you
husband because that's
go
what it says in the
to hell?
Bible. It said,
Do you
cleave
go
to
to
your
hell?
own husband,
Now,
not that lady up the block husband.
like I don't know. If you don't find out they married till after y'all have sex, I don't think you go to hell. I think you get kind of like a get out of jail free card.
Because you think that Mary Magdalene is sitting up there at the gates of hell trying to give y'all whores a pass. No, if you mess with somebody else, your ass going to hell. I mean,
So
unless you repent, just say sorry after.
I was like, oh Lord, forgive me, Lord, forgive me. Didn't know he was married, Lord, didn't know.
Yeah, because I don't know
So
something about a married man. I don't know what's wrong with them. They always in everybody's DM. Why don't
they
you sit your married ass down? You know how many single people are lonely? If the married
they
people
are
would just stay with their
greedy.
spouses, so hey, the single people could get together.
They greedy. They greedy, but you know what? It's greedy married women out here too.
It's
Um,
greedy married women out here too.
because
It's
there's so
true.
many people who are in unhappy relationships, but they stay anyway. That don't make no sense to me. Um, I don't think I would ever do that. I've been unhappy, and it's something that I would never want to go back to. I would never want to be in again. But if I'm unhappy, I don't see me just staying just so I can fuck somebody else. Like that's too
Well,
much
you know
work.
what it is?
Too much work.
Rents are really high.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
People can barely pay their doggone electric bill. So I understand that sometimes you got to sit up there and deal with Cletus with his gout and his bad attitude, and then you get Jerron from your job and you mess with him. I get it. But all I'm saying is, don't marry ladies. Don't make this guy think y'all will really be together, because then he's not gonna look for somebody that's single. And then you got all these single people just out there talking about they don't want to date each other anymore. That's a whole movement where people like they don't want to date anymore because of all the nonsense that they're experiencing
Mhm.
because of all the hurt that people are perpetuating on each other. Look at me, perpetuating. You saw that? Heard that word?
You go
Perpetuate.
ahead. You go ahead. You use them big words, girl. You go ahead. So with you, um, with being the representative for Black women tonight, um, do you think sex is really different across the color line? Do you think white women or Asian women or Hispanic women are having different sex or different sexual pressures than we are?
I feel like it depends on your life at this point, right? Because
Mhm.
I have daughters and they're in their 20s, and I done found panties in my daughter's backseat of her car. So I know somebody getting something, right? And I feel
Mhm.
like just watching people from the internet, I noticed that Black women are more sexually free than they had been in the previous generations. And I feel very
Mhm.
happy about that. I feel
Mhm.
very happy about that. So I feel like it's changing, but it really depends on the woman because there's so many people that's still uber religious, and that rhetoric is still being perpetuated on us all the time, right?
Right.
What God said, about sexuality, you don't want to burn the bed, and you don't want to, be a Jezebel, and you don't want to be all those things. And that happens all the time still to us, right? So I
Mhm.
live in a metropolis, so I live in New York, and it's a little bit different. But my family is from the South, and I see what it is. It's still, even this, people are promiscuous or whatever, but it's still on the low. It's not out and about and feeling free about it. You do the things you do, but it's really still hidden. You know what I mean? It's not embraced. Like I got this friend. She calls herself the Naked Goddess on Instagram, and she masturbates every day. Like, and she's like, Onika, this is what you need to do. You need to, like, for 30 days masturbate. Girl, I got so tired. And nobody got no time to be masturbating for 30 days. But you know what I'm saying? But I understand what she was trying to do. The producer laughing. I understand what she was trying to do. But shit, I'm doing comedy and I'm working in the daytime. It's a hard. Ain't nobody doing that shit. But I
Hey,
get it.
I
I
understand.
get it.
So I don't know if you're familiar with Singing Gina, um, also on Instagram. And so her history was she used to use drugs, she used to be a prostitute, um, gaining part of her sexual freedom in which that is days of life that she's in now, that she's been clean, she hasn't prostituted in years and stuff. So she masturbates every day.
You said she was a prostitute?
Yeah, but so like 30 years ago, she was a prostitute and she was on drugs really heavy. And so sex had a whole nother meaning, whole nother connotation in her mind. And so it
Yeah, because
took
it costs
her,
cash.
yeah, it took her, so
I've been
many
charging myself.
years,
I masturbate every day. You know how much money I can make?
a ton. But it took her so long to even be comfortable with her body in order to do it and appreciate it in order to make that happen. So now she does do that every morning. And I'm like, yo, no wonder you never have a bad
Yeah. Some
day.
people do it with their meditation. So I read an article that say that for sexual transmutation, do you know about this? Sexual transmutation?
No, come on, educate me.
You don't know. Okay, so a lot of rich people use energy in order to acquire things, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the strongest energy is love, right?
Mm-hmm.
But right after that is sex, right? That's why if you think about like the Jeffrey Epsteins, they get these young women that don't really have their frontal lobe fully developed, and it's about the sexual experience because what they do is they take that energy and they transmute it into something else. It's in the it's chapter 10 in Think and Grow Rich. It talks
Mm-hmm.
about sexual mutation. And what it is the woman, she gives birth. She This is all the energy you're ever gonna need because the woman creates worlds. And you can
Mm-hmm.
sexually transmutate that energy of her creation and transmute it into wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're supposed to do is kind of like a visualization thing, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you're masturbating and you're visualizing yourself doing the thing that you want to manifest. So for me, it will be comedy, or you will be whatever it is. And you, in your masturbation, you run the script of what you want to happen,
Mm-hmm.
but you do not come.
Mm-hmm.
There's no release. So what you do is you take the energy and you build it up to here.
So yes. So not with that same verbiage, but Kevin Gates was just saying that same thing.
Yeah.
He was on with $1 Million Worth of Game. You guys, if you haven't seen it, you have to absolutely check it out. With Gilly the Kid and Wallow. But he was talking about that same thing and about having that control. And essentially, he didn't use that verbiage of transmutation. That's exactly what he was describing um, when he was talking about holding on to his ejaculate when he was ready to go, and then allowing that to manifest in him and then using it in other ways. So first, that's what I'm gonna be doing all 2022. So I
Yeah, but
might get
that's what you got. Read
2021
Think
yet.
and Grow Rich, chapter 10.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you know how many people have done that? You know, like it's so crazy what is out here in the energy that nobody shares with us.
Mm-hmm.
Like just here, you see all these old rich men with these really young women. It's it's all that energy that's not tainted because of disappointment and bitterness and all the things that you wanted to have in life. It's just like a free fall. That's when you
Mm-hmm.
got to protect your little girls because it's a free for all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. We went to the bottom of the ocean with that one.
See, you ain't know, right? You
We
ain't know
went to
I
the
was
bottom
smart,
of the
right?
ocean.
You
First
ain't know.
of all,
These
I
people don't
already
even
knew
know.
you was going to give me some gems. I
Oh,
knew
you
you was
thought you
going
were just
to.
going to talk about coming. Not on Onika's watch. Let me tell you something, girl.
Not at all. So, look, we talk about a little bit of everything here on this show. We do get to the bottom of the ocean on a lot of things, because sex is multifaceted. A lot of people have the idea that it is just coming or that it is just for your own pleasure or what have you, but that's not the case. It's a lot of different aspects to it and how we use it, how we grow it, how we breathe it, how we deliver it. It's, believe me,
It's a
I know he's
transfer
gonna give me
of
something.
energy, and you
Yeah.
got to be careful because you can have somebody busting off generational curses inside of you. You ever heard of this thing? You ever mess with somebody, they be sad, your ass be sad? You be like, what the hell's going on with me? I wasn't even sad before. You don't let them come without a condom, and now you have an emotional instabilities. I'm just saying, it's a lot. It's not just sex.
So, I've had that situation. Unfortunately, it was during my marriage where that person's energy then took me down a path or a road that I would not have normally traveled. And it was like it was something almost like I didn't know how to come out of it. I
Right?
didn't know how to get it off of me. Um,
You can't get it off of you because you keep getting it in you.
exactly, exactly. And so once I had gotten to the point that that relationship was no longer sexual, was when everything began to change. Everything began to make sense. Changes in me happened. How I moved, how I operated, how I thought. Um,
Me
total
too.
unreal.
Me too. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
women, you birth things.
Hmm.
You receive things. Like, you ever had sex with a man and he was a bad person? Like, he had like a dark energy over you, and your spirit, like, get this mother F off of me. Like, it's the thing. It
Yeah.
is it's a religious experience, actually. It's
Hmm.
just like burning sage and Palo Santo and playing some
Hmm.
doggone meditation music. All of those things are um uh what do you call it? What do you call rituals?
Yes.
Rituals. It is. It's not just sex. And so many people don't realize that. It's sad. It's sad. People use it. That's why like so many men like to try to ban a lot of women. They're getting something. They're
Hmm.
getting energy. It's
Hmm.
not just your goodies.
Right. Right. Most definitely. So, in your span of being active, has there ever been an experience that has stood out to you more so than any other experience, something that you learned the most from, or that you realized it took you to another level? Have you had that experience yet?
Yes, I did. Like so, like I would like people, and I was married and all that stuff, but I had an experience where um, it was a connection.
Mhm.
I would just like people and then love them, but I never waited for a connection, and the connection felt like electricity, and I
Mhm.
like I would stand next to the person and be like, "Do you feel this? Like that is a do you feel this?"
Yeah.
It was like an outer body experience, and I can't call it an encounter because an encounter seems like it happened one time, but it was
Mhm.
an experience that I've never had before, and I was like, damn, I lived this whole time engaging in activities, and I wasn't fully experiencing what it could be.
Right.
Yeah,
If
and
you
it comes all
could,
the time. Like you can
uh-huh.
like people, you can really love people, and you guys can have
Mhm.
a sexual energy, but a connection is a different set of circumstances. You, it's different.
Right. So,
I thought it was the weed, but it was not the weed, girl. It's not the weed. I'm like,
I'm sitting here trying to see what in the world is going on with these comments because people on Twitch, I post all these random ass shit in here, and I'm like, what are y'all talking about? If y'all don't know who T Gray is, y'all better hurry sit down, grab you a seat, get you some wine, put your kids to bed, and find out tonight. This is Sex Talk with T Gray on WEMS Radio. So if you're tapping in, I'm talking to one of the baddest broads in New York, comedian Onika Mclean, who kills it. Okay, we just had Rodney Perry on. If you came late, you missed it. But what I definitely want you all to do is to make sure that by the end of this show, you know my guest, you follow my guest, you check her out. Because not only is she bad at the mic, she a bad motherfucker in some clothes. I don't know who styles you and who be taking your pictures, but
I style myself, and
yeah.
it's a lot of comedy photographers in the city. They just follow us around, taking pictures of us. Actually. Like that's like a whole thing.
Your pictures be so dope.
Thank you.
Yes, you can ask a question. You can ask anything that you like, and we will tackle it. Again, this is Sex Talk, but you don't have to have a sexual question. Anything you ask, we're going to get into it. See what's what. So, with the way that you approach sex, do you think that when you get to the point that you're ready to experience that with somebody, do you think it's your job to initiate or is it the partner's job to initiate?
I kind of think that it would be a mutual thing, right? For initiation of sex, I feel like that kind of goes into when you get married. Like, who's doing it? I want to do it on Tuesdays, and I want, what I mean? I feel like when there's a connection, like it kind of just opens up. It's like a flower. It just the sex just opens up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like it's anybody's idea when it's right. That makes sense?
So, yes, most definitely. So, one thing that I've experienced is if I choose to be the person who initiates it, sometimes a woman who's an aggressor comes with a negative connotation. Um, Sometimes it's looked at as, oh, you must just be out here doing the dirty. You must just be, pulling up. I'm like, no, it's just that I know what I want. I know what I like. Um, I can't wait for you because, I want it when I want it. But do you think that connotation is warranted? Do you think as a woman that we should be more mild and wait for love?
I don't think so. I feel like it depends on where you are in life. You know, I feel like that has to be freeing to be able to have sex with somebody
Mm-hmm.
and not feel like they owe you something. We should be spending X amount of time together.
Mm-hmm.
It should, that has to be really freeing, right? But I'm not that free. I'm still charging for my shit, and I'll be damned if you just gonna get some of this without going through the proper hoops. I'm gonna make you jump.
No, no, go
I'm
through
gonna set it
some.
on fire. I'm gonna see you
Yeah.
jump through that. No, I'm just joking. But I mean, I don't. I feel like I feel like just a different time that is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that gender role
Mm-hmm.
is a thing anymore. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like so many women are sexually expressive at this point. People walking around with naked dresses on, Lizzo. Like everybody is like free, body positive. You can't sex shame. We have a sex work. Like
Mm-hmm.
so many different things going on. So if you as a woman initiate sex and a guy thinks that she's a whore, that I feel like that's kind of an antiquated thinking at this point. And not that I'm like but I talk to a lot of people and a lot of young people, and it's different now. It's not. I'm gonna just wait for him to touch my shoulder. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like that anymore.
Mm-hmm. No, so I believe it shouldn't be like that. And maybe because I am of this era and not. say, 10 or 20 years my senior, I do feel like it is okay for us to um, exclude our sexual lives and our sexual selves as everybody else is with being fluid. I believe that women have a place to say what they want, say what they need, and be able to begin to express that. It shouldn't always be looked at in a negative light. Um, I definitely think that as time goes on, like Black women especially have to be okay with not being taboo. And I think at one point we have been taboo because of species. You know what I mean? White men who lust after us. You know what I mean? Not necessarily might not necessarily want us or want to take us home to their mama, but they want us. Indian men will never marry us, but they need to sleep with us. You know what I mean? Things like that. I think that we're at a point where we have more power in who we are sexually. We have more knowledge of who we are as Black women. And we should really take and put those two things together and fucking run with it and not allow all the stigmas and all the negative connotation that comes with it to, keep us in a repressed situation, especially sexually. Like life is too short, you guys. Life is too short. And I've really been on some life is too short shit since the pandemic. I ain't gonna front. But
It's
if
true.
I have to go, I might as well go in a pleasing, pleasurable way. I might as well have experienced everything that I wanted to experience. I might as well not say no to myself and not bind myself and not put these barriers around me when there's so many things that I could experience that could bring me the utmost pleasure that I haven't had before. And I'd be damned if I leave up out of here without at least getting one or two of them accomplished. Like I got a sexual bucket list for that ass.
I
So,
got you. I got you. So let me just speak to a couple things that you said, right?
mhm,
And so, as a Black woman, right, and dating outside the races or whatever, oftentimes we as Black women don't do that, right? So a
mhm,
lot of times what I find is that my friends are kind of dying on the vine, waiting for some Black dude to come and not be hurt anymore and do what it is that she feels that he needs to do by her,
mhm,
right? So I feel like we have to stop thinking like that, because
mhm,
actually so many men want us, not won't take us home to their mothers. Like, actually, I'm gonna just say it, most of society wants to be Black women.
mhm,
They emulate us on all accounts. Gay men, white women, they all look at a TikTok.
mhm.
Any sound,
Uh-uh. My phone is making a phone. I don't know.
I know.
Onika, I know you over there giving up game like a mug, and your sound went
Did you
out.
hear me? Can you hear me?
I can now.
Oh, so I said a lot of stuff.
That's what I said. She over there giving up game like
Okay, fuck. Okay, sorry. Okay,
I'm
so
sorry.
I'm gonna just
I
say,
could tell by the
I'm
way
gonna
your
say,
face looked that it was good
okay,
too.
okay. Damn it, I was excited. Okay,
That was you was on the roll.
so black women are told that the other people, not Black men, just use us as a fetish. It's not true.
Mhm,
There are so many men outside of Black men that would love to have us. But what happens is we don't even look at them. We are
mhm,
so fixated on the Black man that we die on the vine. That happens oftentimes. And what I find is so many people want to be black women, gay
Mhm.
men, white
Yes.
women. Like
Mhm.
it's so often that we're emulated
Mhm.
in our voices are used, our cadences, how we walk, sis, whatever it is, queen, whatever it is we're doing, people are emulating that. And they're
Mhm.
emulating it because they would like to be it. And so what I feel as it relates to us, we're the most prudish.
Mhm.
We don't do a lot of stuff. We're not
Mhm.
going to the sex parties. We're not doing a lot of stuff. Like the I know so many black women now that are gay, and I feel like actually they just bisexual. It's just that they
Mhm.
just been dogged out so long by dudes that they're just like, I'm just give me a chick,
Mhm.
right? And so that's happening in our society. And I feel like as it relates to us, we need to just kind of start talking about stuff more.
Mhm.
Because if I know that you cool with it and I feel it inside of me rumbling, maybe I'll be accepted if I can talk to somebody about it, and then maybe I can experience it as opposed to being in the casket mad because I only came twice, once by Leroy and the other time when I got drunk and tongue kissed my homegirl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
that's what I was saying.
Yeah. No, look, and you hitting on all eight cylinders. You hitting on all eight. That is our reality. That is our reality. Yes, indeed. So before we jump up out of here, um, I want you to give us your best piece of sex advice.
Um, Move your hips.
Mm.
There, there's a freeing in moving your hips. Oftentimes, we have sex as women and we just receive, and it's really a dance. So just move your hips.
That was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one, you guys. Yes, indeed. That enables you to function. So,
Now everybody moving their hips like, wait a minute.
yeah, I'm just over here when you said it. I just, yeah.
It's true. There's a freeing
That
in
works.
that.
That works.
It loosens it up. I got a
Yes,
massage the
in
other day.
every position too.
Yep, I got a massage the other day, and they opened my legs and they like stretched my legs, and I
Mhm.
was like, oh, I might start messing with fat dudes because I ain't opening my legs.
And them big brothers, they do. They get they edge up, with their stomach up, edge up on them, and just hold their back. Not that I know, but I heard Fat Boys really go.
They be like, not that I know, but I heard about.
I heard that's what fat niggas. So tell all my guests here where they can find you, the shows you have coming up, and just how they can stay tuned into everything that you have going on.
Okay, so I'm on social media. I'm Onika Comedy, Onika Comedy. Follow me on all social media platforms. I want to say my TikTok is like Onika One Comedy, but I play almost every night in New York City. I work out of the Stand nightclub mostly, but on December 19th, I'm having a comedy brunch at the Stand. It's going to be 3 p.m. It's going to be Onika's Comedy Brunch, and we're going to have a live band. My daughter's going to sing, and I'm going to have some choice comedians in the New York City area. I already got Chanel Ali. She just taped her Comedy Central special. She's a dope ass person, and just watch out for what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a household name. Just keep listening out for me.
Indeed, most definitely. I can't wait. I am super excited. So not only am I a new student of the craft because I just started, um, I love seeing strong black women sometimes. I love it.
Well,
I love
I'm not
it.
strong.
It gives me goosebumps. You
I'm
say
not
you're not
strong though.
strong? You
I'm not
Teflon. I'm sorry.
strong. Because when you contribute strength to women,
Mhm.
you give the people that hear that the go ahead to abuse us. Ain't nothing strong about me. I'm a woman.
Mm.
That's it.
Yes, ma'am. Will you follow my woman guest? You guys follow her. You make sure you check her out. If you're in the New York area, definitely catch her shows, support her, go see her, become a fan because she definitely will pull you in. And if she don't pull you in on stage, she won't fucking pull you in with these skits because she's hilarious as hell, keeping us constantly engaged, super fly, doing her thing. Proud to be among such an amazing woman. You guys, we will be back right here live next Tuesday, 9 to 10 p.m. This is Sex Talk with TJ of WEMS Radio. I will see you then. Bye bye.